Okay, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to factor quadratic trinomials. Quadratic, what that means, the highest power will be a 2. So they'll all be to the second power. And trinomial means there's 3 terms. 1, 2, 3 terms. So I want to be factoring something that looks like this. A x squared plus bx plus c. And you know that this will be called the first term. This will be called the second term. And this will be called the third term. Okay. Now to factor this, we use what they call the X box method. So you put an X, then you put a box. We have used a box before when I put a 2 by 2 box. And then what you need to know is the following. Whatever you put in here is the first term multiplied by the second term. Right here is the second term. I'm sorry, this is not the first, second term, this will be the third one. Okay, so first term multiplied by the third term, second term, and this will be the first term. Okay, so this one has to be the first term, and this will be the third term. Okay, and that is something you have to memorize. So what I recommend when you do the problems, when you do the homework, just putting your X box, X is right here. So what I'm gonna do is first gonna do my X right here, X right here, and then this will be the X, X. Now I'm going to draw my box. I'm gonna make this my box. And then my box, and then I'll make it a 2 by 2 box. So the way we do this, divide it this way. Sorry. Divide it this way. Divide it this way. 2 by 2 box. And then I'm going to put in the values that I had over here. First, multiply the first and third, put it up here. Remember, this is my first, second, third. So multiply this by this. It'll give you 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 6 is 18, 189. P squared. Multiply the first and the third one. Second term goes in here, and second term is negative 12p. First term is 3 p squared. Right here, same idea. Multiply the first times the third. You're going to have 10 b squared. Second term goes in here. This will be 11b. I don't need the plus, only the negatives. First term will be b squared. And my third term will be number 10. Same over here. Multiply the first term times the last one. You have negative 80 x squared. Second term right here, that'll be 8x. First term will be 2x squared. And then third term will be negative 90. Okay. Now, what I recommend, do that for every problems. And then that's about half of the work. Okay, now do this. Here's the hard work thinking happens. I'm gonna take this right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write this right here, 10b squared. Now I want, what can I multiply to give me 10b squared in order? I can do 1v multiplied by 10v. I can do 2v multiplied by 5b. Uh, 3 does not work. 4 does not work. 4 times something will not give me 10. And 5 would work. 5b multiplied by 2v. Now, very important. Once you start repeating, I don't know if you recognize that these factors and these factors are the same. That's it. I'm done. I don't need that anymore. Now, can positive 1 times positive 10 give me positive 10b squared? Yes, this is right. They're positive. Now combine them. 1v combined with 10v will give you 11v. 2v combined with 5v will give you 7v. Now the one that you pick is the one where you get negative 11. So I'm going to pick this factor right here. That's what's missing in my pattern. So this should be 1v, 10v, and this will be 1v, and this will be 10v. Now once you do that is factor each one of them and take out what they have in common. So for example, v squared is v multiplied by v. 1v, 1 multiplied by v. Factor of 10v will be 2 multiplied by 5, 2, 5, 2, 10, and v. And this is just 2 multiplied by 5. Now you do the following. What do the bottom boxes have in common? They have nothing in common, so I'm going to put in a 1. If they have nothing in common, I put a 1. What does this and this have in common? They have a factor of v in common, so I'm going to write v on the left side. Now, left boxes, what do they have in common? They have a v in common. So right here on top, I'm going to put in a v. Now, what factors do these two have in common? They have a 2 in common, and they have a 5 in common. And 2 multiplied by 5 will give me 10. Now, remember, this will give me v plus 1. Now, this will give me parentheses v plus 10. So that's it. I have factored them already. I have factored them. Okay. So the factors that are v, parentheses v plus 1 and parentheses v plus 10. Okay. Now I picked that one because that's easy. Now, let me do this one right here. Okay. Now, if you notice, the numbers that I got are kind of big. Okay. So that's 180. 2 times 90 is going to give you 180. So the way you make it small is do the following. If you notice, they all have a number. And if they have a number, they should have a number. Maybe they have a number in common. I can write this as 2 multiplied by x multiplied by x. And 2 cannot be factored, that's why. Factors of 8. If you do 8, can I use 1 or 8? I can use 4 multiplied by 2. Now try to factor those. Factors of 4 without using 1 or 4 will be 2 and 2. Factors of 2, can I use 1 or 2? That is prime. So this will be prime. So instead of writing 8, I'm going to write 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by x. Minus, because that's a minus. Factors of 90 will be 9 and 10. Factors of 9, can I use 1 or 9? I can use 3 and 3. Factors of 10, can I use 1 and 10? I can use 2 and 5. And all those numbers are prime. So write the prime numbers in order. I'm going to write 2, and I have 2 of them. I'm sorry, I have 1, 1, 2. There's only 1, 2. And there are 2 3s. And, okay, not 33. 3 times 3. And and then I have multiplied by 5. Now, what do they have in common? Okay, they have a factor of 2 in common. Anything else they have in common? Any other factor? No, so the answer would be 2 parentheses x squared, x times x will give me x squared, plus 2 times 2 will give me 4, 4 times x will give me 4x, minus factors of what's left over here, 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 will be 45. Now, if you notice, the numbers will get a lot smaller. Okay, I'm not going to 180, 180. When I apply the Xbox method, I'm applying it for only this right here. Now that's on the outside. Okay, so that changes this. So now, what I'm going to do is, let me erase this. Multiply the first term and the last term. I'm going to get negative 45x squared. First times 30 is negative 45x squared. Now, second term goes in here. That will be 4x. First term will be x squared, and the last term will be negative 45. Okay, so now I'm going to put this number right here. And I want all the factors of 45. Can I, in order? I can do 1x and 45x. Remember, this should be 45x squared when you multiply this times this. Can I use 2? Can 2 times something give me 45? Nope. What about 3? Yes, 3x and 15x. Now, some of you will be saying, Mr. Rivas, how do you know that 3 times 15 will give you 45? Okay, if you check Google Classroom and go to About, and then go to Times Tables. Here's the way you do it. Okay, I'm looking for, you do it in order. Okay, can 2 times something give me 45? No, it doesn't. Can 3 times something give me 45? Yes, it does. 3 and 15. That's how I get it. Now let's try 4. Can 4 multiply by something give me 45? No, it doesn't. What about 5? 5 and 9. So next I know that I need to use 5x and 45x. I'm sorry, 5x and 9x. What about 6? Can 6 times something give me 45? No, it doesn't. What about 7? No, it doesn't. 8? No. 9? 9 and 5. So this would be 9 and 5. And I don't know if you notice, but the last two numbers are repeating. This set and this set is the same, so I can cross this out. I'm done. That's it. Now, can a positive times a positive give me a negative answer? If the answer is negative, one of these has to be negative. Who is negative? Look at him. The larger number, I have the same sign as this one. Okay, so the larger numbers are positive, and all these will be negative. So all of these have to be negative, 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 and negative. Now combine them. Negative 1x combined with 45x will give you 44x. Negative 3 and 15x will give you 12x. And negative 3 plus 9x will give you, okay. Now I'm looking for the one that gave me the answer of 4. Not that one, not that one, and not that one. Okay, so what this tells me, the Xbox method is not going to work, so the answer will be this. The quadratic trinomial cannot be factored. That is the answer. Okay. And there are times when if you tried everything, nothing works. It's prime cannot be factored. Okay. Let's look at example number 3. Now, number 1 has the same issue as number 3, and the number I had was way too big. Maybe they have a number in common. Let me see if these three have have a factor in common. So what I'm gonna do is 3 cannot be factored because it's prime. So that'll be 3 multiplied by p multiplied by p minus factor of 12 will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 and multiplied by p. Some of you might be saying, how did he get that? If you do the factors of 12, I can use 3 multiplied by 4. Factor of 3, can I use 1 or 3? That's prime. Factors of 4, we are using 1 or 4. That's 2 and 2. And factors of 2, can I use 1 or 2? That's prime. Okay, so that's what I did right here. Okay, but I did that in my head. Now, factors of 63 will be 9 and 7. 9 is 3 and 3, and 7. Okay, now, is there any factor that all trinomials have in common? All monomial, all terms, okay? They have a factor of 3 in common. They all have a 3 in common. Any other factor they have in common? Maybe a p, but there's no p in here. That's what they have. So I can write this as 3 parentheses p squared leftovers. If I take out the 3, what's left over is p squared minus, if I take out the 3, what's left over it will be 4p minus, and 3 multiplied by 7 will give you 21. So now I'm gonna get rid of these numbers because they were way too big. So what I'm gonna do is do the following. The first term multiplied by the last term, and I'm applying it to this trinomial. So forget about the 3. Forget about the 3. We don't have to worry about the 3. First term multiplied by the last one will give you negative 21p squared. Second term will be negative 4p. And the first term will be p squared. And your last term will be negative 21. Okay, now take the 21, negative 21p, and do the factors in order. I can do 1p and 21p. They will give me 21p squared. Can 3 times something give me 21p? I'm sorry, 2. Can 2 times something give me 21p? 2 does not work. What about 3? 3p and 7p. What about 4? Can 4 times another number give me 21? Nope. 5. Can 5 times another number give me 21? Nope. 6. Nope. 7. That'd be 7p and 3p. But they're repeating already, so that's a sign for me to stop. That's it. I'm done. Now, can a positive times a positive give me a negative answer? No, if the answer is negative, one of these has to be negative. For a clue, look at this. Look at the bottom one. This one and the larger ones will have the same sign. So if this is negative, this has to be negative. The larger ones have to be negative. 1p minus 21p will give you negative 20p. 3p minus 7p will give you negative 4p. Now, one that I pick is the one that gave me this answer. This gave me that answer. So what's missing in here is I'm missing the 3p minus 4p, 3p minus 4p. Factors of p squared will be p multiplied by p. 3 is prime. Factors of 3p will be 3 multiplied by p. Factor of 4 will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by p, and there should be one negative. And factors of negative 21 will be 3 multiplied by 7, and one of them should be negative. Now, let's see what factors they have in common. Bottom ones, they have a 3 in common, not a negative, but only the 3. So I'm going to put a 3 right here. Top ones, what factors they have in common? They both have a p. So I'm going to circle 1p. Now, the left two boxes, what they have in common? They have a p in common. So right here on top, I'm going to put 1p in common. Now, what do these two have in common? Okay, they have nothing in common. Hold on. Okay, this problem, I'm having difficulties here because they have nothing in common. We're supposed to put a 1 here. So the answer for this would be 3. And instead of this trinomial, I can put in two binomials. And the answer would be p plus 3 and p plus 1. Okay. Now, uh, if you multiply this, you should get this answer, and they don't multiply to give you that, okay? So that tells me that that cannot be factored. This trinomial cannot be factored, so this will be my answer. Okay, once again, first do the x and the box and put in the values, and then do the hard work, okay? Remember, you can pause the video, you can return, rewind 10 seconds, 5 seconds, or the whole video as you need it, okay? Thank you very much.